Now, Alberta's Justice Minister had ordered a review after the Cardinal case, again putting out a statement today saying that victims should be treated with dignity and compassion. She has now also asked for these two latest cases to be added to that review.
Thanks, Susanna.
Thanks.
Karen McArthur is in our Toronto studios. She's a criminal defense lawyer in Ontario and joins me now to speak more about this. Karen, I know we spoke back in June about the case of Angela Cardinal, and I'm wondering now what your reaction is to the news of these other two cases that are certainly similar, and the fact that this no longer seems to be an isolated incident.
The two incidents that we're learning about now preceded Angela Cardinal, but now you're right, Sarah, that's 3 for 3. Cases showing a complete commoditization of women as victims that are being victimized as well by this state. It's shocking.
Karen, I know you practice in Ontario, and this is, of course, all happening in Alberta, but you practice in the courts. And what's been your experience in terms of how marginalized victims like prostitutes and drug addicts are treated within this court system?
I received a call last year from a Native woman who was in segregation and went to court pro bono, which means without fees, to simply tell the court and to tell the Crown and to even contact her defense lawyer and advise that this was occurring, that she was languishing in custody, in segregation. And you know what, Sarah? People didn't really seem to care. So marginalized voices, women, men, are just left behind. And it's a sad situation, and you need strong defense counsel to stand up and have the courage to stand up and state it for what it is. And you need people on the other side, all participants in the system, to have open ears and compassion and empathy and listen and act.
In the cases that we're talking about in Alberta, it seems that there's real concern that these victims won't show up to court to testify, that the people who are accused, these men that are accused, will walk because there is no one testifying against them.
Well, the women may be afraid to come forward, but there are lesser restrictive means to get them to court, including a coffee and a car ride to court and a worker that's there to help them face their attacker. You can have victim services available, both lawyers and social worker types that can assist them in getting to court and in testifying and facing the assailant. They're going through a very difficult situation, even having to face them, and then testifying and going through and repeating for the judge or the jury what they went through is traumatic enough. Got to make it better for them. And as I said, if you're concerned about them taking off and not making it to court, the police officers can set up a relationship with the victims as the court proceeding approaches and set up arrangements to bring them to court. Seek out family members, seek out friends that might assist in getting them to court.
Now, the Alberta government is looking at these cases. They are looking for recommendations. What's your hope from that?
Oh, absolutely. There should be recommendations. They've got to, first of all, start with common sense, empathy, and figure out how best to get the story out from the victims and treat them compassionately, and how to do so without resorting to shackles and cell blocks. Any story that you get out in that situation, or the repetition of what they went through, is not really going to be as close to the true accounting as you would get if you treated them appropriately. For example, Starlight, my understanding of Starlight, when she testified, she said to the judge, look, I've sort of got a whole second opinion on this, because right now I'm in the same cell block as the man that assaulted me, and well, that's not a good place to be as I'm telling my story. So if you don't mind, Judge, I want to give the guy a second chance. So really, by locking her up and putting him in the same cell block, the truth didn't come out. It hindered the pursuit of truth.
Karen, thank you so much. It's Karen McArthur,
very welcome, Sarah.
Criminal defense lawyer in Ontario.